bro, my backlog is so cooked, bro. Like, oh my gosh, I have like 150 other games that I'm trying to play right now, and this consists of both old games that I want to go back and play, and then new games that I keep buying, even though I don't need to freaking keep buying new games. But the thing is, though, when I was a kid, I used to not be able to get new games quite as often. So when I turned into an adult, I kind of just started like overly indulging a little bit. Not even an adult. I would say like around like what year did the Wii U come out? Because that was the first game console I bought with my own money. That's not true. It was the Nintendo 3DS. So that was like 2011. And in 2011, I was 12, 13. I was 13 years old. The Wii U came out in 2012, so I would have been 14 at the time. And obviously, I couldn't have a real job back then. So I spent like the summer like cutting grass, and like I remember one time I like cleaned my neighbor's fence, and it took me like 3 days because their fence was like really weathered. It had been up for like 10 years, and I just had to sit there and like scrub all the grime off of the fence. But he paid me I forgot exactly how much he paid me, but I remember it kind of closing the gap on what I needed to be able to buy the Wii U with my own money. So it may have been like $100 or $150 or something along that line. I would hope so. I was on my freaking knees for like 3 days, cleaning the fence so that I could afford this freaking game system. And then it ended up not even being that successful. Quick side note, tangent, rant, whatever you want to call it. I think the Wii was pretty freaking dope. Nintendo, to this day, I'm convinced the only reason that system flopped as much as it did is because Nintendo absolutely sucked at marketing that system. Because that junk was actually, that was a good system. It's literally, the Switch is literally the Wii U 2. Like, it's the natural evolution of what the Wii U was. That's why they re-released so many games on it, because that generation was so short. But that's a whole, wow, I really just went on a whole tangent. But I guess that's kind of like what, you know, I like doing these commentaries, you know what I mean? Like, it's just me rambling off on my current thoughts of a subject that I'm on. So if you enjoy taking a deep dive into the journal of my mind, then yeah, just sit back and listen and enjoy. But what was I yapping about? Oh, my backlog. Yeah, so back when I was a kid, the only time that I would get new games really was like my birthday and then like Christmas. Every now and then I could sneak in another game here or there, like maybe if we went to the mall or something like that, and I could kind of convince my mom. I would literally be like, no, mom, come this way. Like, I would literally coax her into the GameStop that was in the mall at the time that we used to go to, because that's back when GameStop was an absolute hogwash and they actually had used game deals, like good used game deals, and back when they had the whole retro game thing going on. Another quick side note, why would they drop that? Like, what? I feel like that's when GameStop was at their peak when they sold retro games. I'm like, why would they drop that feature? I know like the death of physical media has somewhat to do with it, but I'm just like, y'all used to be like the go-to place for like old GameCube and PS2 and PS1 games. I'm like, oh my gosh, whoever made that business decision to like cut out retro games needs to be fired and let go if they haven't already. GameStop is dying because of you. But back to my original point. Why am I talking so fast? Why am I so hyper? Why do I have so much energy? Freaking daylight savings, that's why. Back to my original point. So I would like coax my mom to go into GameStop, and I would be able to get like, you know, like old GameCube games. Like, I was about to say Hulk Ultimate Destruction, but I distinctively remember getting that game on my birthday, so I won't count that one. But basically what I'm trying to get at is that I would get new games like 2, maybe 3 times max out of the year, right? Just because it's just like games were expensive and stuff like that, and you know, when you're a kid and you don't have your own money and your parents have bills to pay, it's kind of like, oh, guess what, you can't get new games all the time. So let's just say I got really comfortable with replaying games a lot. But fast forward to when I'm old enough to start making my own money, now all of a sudden I kind of have some more disposable income, and it was definitely a gradual progression of me starting to purchase games like way too much. Because at first it started with like, I remember when I got the Wii U, and then I got the Wii U because I was like doing, like, I was cutting people's grass and I was like cleaning fences and stuff like that, like I said earlier. But when I actually started getting games for the Wii U, at that point I think I had went and got like a real job, because was I 15? I think it depends on what time of the year it came out, but I was like 15 or 16 when I got my first job. And I remember I wanted Black Ops 2 and I wanted Assassin's Creed 3. And I remember that I asked my mom for it and she just wasn't able to buy the game for me at the time. And then it clicked in my head. It was like, oh, I gotta go get a job because I didn't feel like cutting people's grass anymore. Honestly, I probably should have just kept doing that because my goodness, the workforce sucks. Oh my gosh, but I won't go on I won't go on a third rant in the same video. I'll save that for the next one. But basically I went and got a job, and then I start getting like these real checks, and I'm like, oh shoot, I can buy actual games that I want on a more frequent basis. And at first, again, it was a gradual progression into gluttony, because at first I got like a game here or there, like Black Ops 2 and Assassin's Creed 3. Like I got those 2 games at the same time because I didn't want to like overly play one game and then get tired of it and then never want to touch it again. So I was bouncing between Black Ops 2 and Assassin's Creed 3. But then like more games started coming out back at the time, like Lego City Undercover. And I was a Nintendo guy. I didn't have like a PlayStation system until like the PS4 days. Whenever I played PlayStation, it would always be at my cousin's house, but or like a friend's house. But so like it was like all Nintendo games. Oh, a new Mario game just came out. Oh, like a new Zelda's dropping, or you know, like things like that. So slowly but surely I just started like buying games more frequently. And then here we are X amount of years later. I've had my own money now for 10 years. So like 10 years now I've had my own money to be able to buy games and like, you know, contribute, like feed into my hobby, which is a good thing on one hand, because it's like, oh, it's like I'm able to like further dive into like this thing that I'm interested in to play all these games. But on the flip side of that, I now have a freaking insurmountable pile of like games that I want to go back and play. And like the crazy thing about my backlog is that I also have games that I want to go back and replay, although I already beat them, just because they were like really good games and I have no problem with replaying games. Like if a game is like really good, it's almost certain that I'm going to replay it at some point. So I have a freaking a hodgepodge of old games that I want to replay, a bunch of games that I've purchased on freaking Steam sales and PlayStation storefront sales that I had no business getting because I already have 5 other games on my plate at the time. And then on top of that, there's like some retro games I want to go back and play too. So it's like this mental drag bogging down my mind, where it's just like, dang, no, I should probably play that game today, or no, I should probably play this game today, or no, but and it's like there's not enough time in the day to play all the games. So like what I've been doing recently, there's like 150 backlog, like how to crush your backlog videos, and on YouTube and stuff like that, and I do watch them. They're actually pretty entertaining. I enjoy listening to people talk about their methods on like how they're tackling their backlog. But for me, it's just, well, it's actually kind of similar. It's like I'm trying to focus now on like 1 to 3 games at a time. Honestly, even 3, I hesitate to say that, because it should really be like between 1 and 2, just so that I could kind of like finish a game and keep it pushing. But like I'm trying to like slow my pacing down so that I play games like 1 to, you know, I'm getting better, so it is still 3 right now, but I'm only trying to play like a few games at a time, as opposed to stretching myself thin across like 7 different games and then nothing getting done. It's like the whole thing where it's like if you're interested in like 15 different things, sometimes you just have to put other things down. Otherwise you'll just get caught up in only trying to spread yourself so thin across the 15 things that you get nothing done. So I've recently been slowing down and doing that. Like, okay, it's like, okay, I have a few hours of free time. Let me play this game tonight, or let me play this game for like 2 hours, and then I'll hop in the other game for like an hour. But I'm trying to actively stop myself from wasting money on these freaking Steam sales, bruh, because they are such a trap. Every single day, you telling me every day Steam has a sale? There's never not a day where there's not games discounted on Steam. I'm so serious. Like if you have a Steam, go on Steam right now. There's like 150 games on sale. There is never a time where everything is just at retail price on Steam. There is always a sale 24 hours a day. And the same thing, honestly, for the freaking PlayStation front store. And I get it. They do it because they want us to spend more money. And guess what? It's working. Because when I see a really cool, interesting game, I'm like, oh, I might as well buy it now while it's $7. Knowing good and well it's going to be $7 again 2.5 weeks from now when the sale makes a freaking roundabout. I don't even need to get it yet. I literally don't even need to get it yet. It's going to go on sale again. I can't tell you how many times I've seen Resident Evil 8 go on sale in the last 6 months. Legitimately, I think it's been like 8 times. And I'm not just saying 8 because it's, oh, Resident Evil. No, like actually, like that game goes on sale like on average once a month. And somehow I've managed to not buy it yet just because I know I'm not going to play it just yet. But I'm just like, these sales come back around. So when you see a sale on a game, really this applies to anything with a sale, but don't feel the need to just jump on it right away if you really don't have room for it on your plate right now. Unless it's something that is like rare, but nowadays with the whole digital storefront, that's not really the case. If you see like a physical game or something like that and it's dirt cheap, sure, I would say probably pick it up. If it's something where you're kind of like, oh, there's only like 7 copies of this floating around right now. For things like that, sure. But for like 9 times out of 10, the sale is literally going to be back in like 4 to 8 weeks. So like work on what you already have. I'm talking to myself right now. Work on what you already have and then circle back and get that later. You will save both mental capacity, money, and time because you won't be spreading yourself so freaking thin. It's not always necessary to buy games just because they're on sale. And that's why my freaking backlog is so ballooned up. That's why it's so swollen right now. So for me personally, I am working on those things so that I can tackle my backlog. Now, if you're listening at this point in the video and you're like, oh my gosh, what is this dude talking about? I don't care. Then why are you still listening? Like, why? That's just me. That's just me. If you got this far into the video, I'm going to presume that you actually like it or that you're relating to some degree, or this is just sufficient background noise to you. Because the only time I listen to videos this long, because this is going on like 10 minutes of me just ranting, is because of those reasons. It's either relatable or I like the person talking. So whichever one it is, I would like to invite you to like the video. Comment on the video. Tell me how you're tackling your backlog if you can relate, or if you're in a similar situation. What games are in your backlog that you're trying to finish so that you can cross them out. So yeah, comment down below and subscribe today to become a +1. And until next time, God bless.